Hello everyone and welcome to BHG Studios. This is my shooting impressions of the Leica Q2 and I'm really comparing against the Leica, this is the Q2 Monochrom and this is the regular Q2. And I had both of them at the same time to review and I kind of actually wish I didn't because I found myself constantly A-Bing these. So I take one picture and think, oh, I wonder what it looks like in color, shoot it in color, and then think, oh, I want to see what it looks like in black and white. And so I actually wasted a lot of time doing that because instead of thinking artistically, you start thinking more technically. And because of that, I ended up being more of a technical shootout. And when I realized if I could just put the camera, one camera in the bag and just stick to one. And then when there was something where I felt like, okay, look, this would be a good A-B kind of a test. Then I would, shoot once, put it in my bag, and then take the other camera and A-B the shots. But in general, I learned when I wanted to shoot one over the other. When I was with my wife and we were out eating and just kind of hanging out, I preferred shooting in black and white. It has that documentary type feel. And as well, when you're in weird mixed lighting, I took a photo down this really ugly stairwell, like a 1950s, 1960s stairwell, and just ugly light. And I did shoot it in color and black and white. Maybe you like the look, but I personally didn't. So on shots like that, it just makes sense to shoot in black and white. So not having to think about white balance, not having to think about color profiles, it was kind of refreshing to just focus on the composition, focus on lighting, focus on your perspective, and it helps you be a little bit more creative in one sense. Although I don't follow that theory of like color is just cheating, because just like in the old film days, you shot with different film types for different reasons. They kind of gave you a certain aesthetic, and likewise shooting different types of black and white film, different speeds, different grain structures, it gives a different feel. And so I think it's just an artistic choice to shoot black and white or color, and there are some who prefer to shoot black and white and don't want that extra flexibility of being able to adjust your sliders in post, in Lightroom or in Photoshop, because you do get a little bit more information and more likely to bring back some lost highlights with a color image that you convert to black and white versus shooting only black and white. So what I did find is that in general, I would shoot at least 1/3 stop under on the Q2 Monochrom, if not 2/3 or even a full stop under. Now, Leica did say the higher ISO you go to, so let's say you're at ISO 50,000, he said it's not good to underexpose. You're better to just shoot the exposure exactly as it is. And because there's IBIS in this camera and both cameras, it's not the most effective IBIS I've ever used, but it does work. I could shoot down to like a 15th or 8th of a second and be really, really steady and get the shot. But I'm not pulling off half-second exposures or 1-second exposures, which you can sometimes do with the Fujis. And so I really did enjoy shooting with the Q2. There were situations where color was amazing and shooting in color just made sense, but there were times where it looked great in color as well as in black and white. There's one photo of an old house that was all boarded up and I shot it in portrait mode, and I looked at it like, oh, for sure I'm gonna shoot this in color. So shot it in color and I thought, you know what though? Again, that A-B mentality, I thought, let's just see what it looks like in black and white. It might be interesting. Shot in black and white, and you let me know which one you prefer, but I think they both look fantastic. And in terms of ISO performance, we in Canada here in Vancouver, June is the month with the longest days of the year. It's like till 10:30, it's still not dark. So I didn't get a chance to do a lot of high ISO tests. I did some, but Leica, Antonio, thank you so much. He took some photos of the Millennium Falcon, and I'll maybe put some inserts here where he compares the M10 and the Q2 monochrome, as well as like actually Tri-X, but sort of comparing just for fun of what ISO 300 would be, and you push it even higher. You're getting amazing image quality at higher ISOs. Just shooting ISO 50,000 seems insane to me because I come from a film background. ISO 800 seems fast to me. So even shooting 3200, 6400, my heart's, pumping a little bit fast. But I did shoot at ISO, I think 12,800, and was getting really great images at night. The pictures of Dom's Cadillacs at night, I was shooting at, I think, 12,800 most of the time, maybe even a little bit higher. It performs nice. And whatever noise you do get, it's not color noise, right? It's just it looks more I wouldn't say it's more like grain, but but it definitely doesn't look like a pixelated color noise that you would get typically out of a color sensor. And so also you're getting the extra stop, right? You can get up to ISO 100,000. So ISO 50,000 on here looks more like 24,000 on the regular Q2. So, that's kind of a big deal. You're getting a one-stop advantage because you don't have that color filter array that actually cuts down about a stop of light transmission, and so you're getting an extra stop advantage here. But both these cameras, both of these lenses are really sharp. When you stop it down, that starburst effect, the sunburst effect, you don't really get that. You get weird kind of internal flares in here, and the starburst effect isn't so great. I did that as a test, and you can see the blotchiness that you get. So you can't have everything, right? So this is an awesome lens. It has amazing macro capabilities, 47 megapixels, super sharp, great sensor, but no starburst effect. Overall, had a great time with both of these. In terms of shooting experience, I gotta say, from a technical standpoint, I enjoyed shooting the Q2 more because I was in environments where I was like, wow, look at that red awning, and I want to include that in as part of the shot. But in terms of my artistic side, I actually did enjoy shooting in black and white more. And I was with my wife. I preferred shooting in black and white. It felt more like I was shooting black and white film, and it kind of gave me that documentation, kind of editorial kind of a feel. Having a little flash with you is nice so that you can add a little pop of daylight feel, because I am shooting at, I said a third or 2/3 stop below. So you tend to, if there are shadows, you tend to lose it. And so putting a little bit of a, this is leaf shutter, so you can flash things right up to 1/2000 of a second. Just use, I find even like an 1/8 or 16th power on a 20-meter guide number flash. This is the EF-X20 flash from Fujifilm. Worked great, but any flash will work on here. You don't need any kind of a high-speed sync capabilities because this is a leaf shutter. Super quiet, both of these cameras. Enjoy shooting both of them. To own, if I had to pick one, I would definitely pick the Q2 because of that versatility. I could still shoot in black and white, although it's not going to be as good as a black and white only dedicated camera. As well, in terms of ISO performance, you get one-stop advantage on the monochrome versus the color. But in the end, I'm a colorist. I enjoy shooting color film. I enjoy shooting color digital, and just having to only shoot black and white. I'm not that type of photographer. I only shoot like that. But if you are a black and white photographer, if you do shoot black and white film, or even in digital, you just are enamored by that black and white look, then consider buying the Q2 monochrome. The M10 monochrome, or any of the previous M series bodies monochrome. There was the original M monochrome, then the M246 monochrome, and then the M10 monochrome. The latest one is like $9,000 plus you need lenses. So this is a good entry point. It's still $6,200, $700 more than the Q2, but for a monochromatic only, a full frame, 28mm Summilux. This is an all-in-one. It's a beautiful camera. It's a premium camera. So I think it would be a good idea if Fujifilm made an X100V monochrome. I think it would work, even if they charge an extra $200-300 for that. I think people would buy it. But if you are into that, this camera is great. And so thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know down below. And we'll talk to you soon. Happy shooting. Peace.